Okay, good late New York Sunday evening. Michael Venezia, head trader at TradeGateHub, which is sponsored by Tradeview Markets. Here we are, the last week in March, basically. Maybe, what do we have? 5, 6 trading days, if you will, in March, end of the quarter. Be care of the markups, markdowns, a lot of movement. We just had what, a 4.5 trillion option expiration on Friday. Please go over your charts. There were some charts that were skewed or whatever, had fills. Be aware of your prices. All right, number one. You know what I mean? TradeGateHub, you're never going to be short of ideas of what's moving. It's getting to know yourself and what you're bad at, and what you're good at, and what you're bad at. Okay, Sunday evening. All right. Always, regardless of my opinions. I really haven't been giving opinions that much. One of the rules of the trading desk, and I sat on quite a few, many of them, is, don't give an opinion unless you're asked. All right. So here we have. Boom. Always click images to enlarge. Uh, Always part of the plan. Economic calendar. Catalyst for the week, if you will. Upgrades, downgrades. By the way, it's talking specifically of where we are at this point in the market, being Sunday. What's today's date? The 23rd of March. And this is really everything in a nutshell. I don't really think many would argue. Many aren't clear on where it's going to go. But as our friend Rev, a good friend of ours, the key issue in the stock market is struggling right now is uncertainty. We all know that the tariffs are out there. It's tariffs, tweets, earnings, and maybe Powell's thrown in every once in a while. Trump economics policy, well, 6 months from now, we don't know. He could take off the tariffs tomorrow, and everything will just maybe take time to readjust, and we'll keep trading as we go. Maybe the VIX will abate, things will catch their breath, and we'll keep doing what we do. There's a lot of political pressure to be pessimistic and negative about Trump, and many economics and pundits embrace the mindset. Like I said, I'm not really strong either way. I don't bring up politics or religion. I get it. And we'll just go into this week's earnings. Many big movers, uh, percentage movers, maybe not the highest of Dave's, but pardon me, percentage movers. I'll do a lot of homework today. Trust me. Inside weeks across the board on the market, on the three indices, if you will. Those are weekly candles. Pay attention. Goldman position indicator. All right, the less that they're in, the more bullish it is. When Goldman's all in, that's where can you go from there? Okay. Also, you can, if you want to do this, you can only have to interpret the way I do. Just all you have to do is chart the S&P to where the indicator is, and you'll see what the market does relative to the S&P equity and the Goldman indicator. Foreigners dump U.S. stock at the the fastest pace in history as they're buying their own. So is that bullish? Yeah, it is to a degree. Everybody's in the pool. CTAs, do it again. Gold, silver. You know how we feel about that. If you want to know really how we feel about it going forward within not only the past week, Friday, today, about how we feel from basically the inception of TradeGateHub. And I implore everybody, our second best of many by being free is our YouTube channel, where you can also be, if you're not one of our almost 6,600 subscribers, doing a couple of videos a day. Me, 3 o'clock p.m. Power Hour. Coach Dale Pinker leading by example. One of his better videos, if you will, and I'm not comparing. They're all great. Monday morning plan. Very, very good. You have to really, really what I do on Mondays, at least Sundays at least, get an overall picture and then zero in. And watching Coach's video every day, especially Monday mornings for the weekly plan, is definitely the way to go. I implore everybody. If you don't, then keep watching our various videos and our guests across the board. Let's go back to TradeGateHub. Okay. With this week, I posted earnings, economic indicators. Retail traders have been a net buyer in all but 7 trading days in 2025. So retailers have been buying almost every day as we go to the charts. And I don't know what they're doing, but there's the chart on the SPYs, and you can see even by TradeGateHub with those weekly candles. But now, I think it's quite bullish that retail traders have been buying. I don't know who's making money in this type of environment for retail traders, but unfortunately, sometimes we take solace or prey upon retail traders because they're usually the last ones in the pool, no disrespect. And if you are a retail trader, our point in this room is the longer you get there is the longer you're on the other side. It's more fun on the other side. And by the way, it's not getting no foolproof. It's greater edge. Another one for you Forex traders or people actually are smart. Speculators Hey, Lewis, good for you Sunday evening. Man that wants to learn. Speculators turn short. Lewis, ask questions if you want. Speculators turn short the dollar for the first time since October. Just that. Okay? You interpret it all you want. You can think it's bullish, bearish, whatever. Thank you, Lewis. Put call ratio. Now remember, on Friday there was a 4 point. Well, let's go to the charts, if you will. I didn't want to go to the charts this quickly, but this move on the charts on Friday, when the market basically moved from 400 Dow points. So let's go to something even like the small caps really didn't even show it. Note that. But the put call did wipe everything out. And you know what? If you wanted to know really what that was like, once again, we had that plan going last Friday uh, in the power hour, my 3 p.m. Eastern power hour. Okay, let's go to some charts. Thank you, Lewis, again. Now, this is my general universe. Now, once again, it's not the only universe. The universe, much like the proverbial universe, is expansive. I just have a lot of my stocks with sectors best of breed. Sometimes I rotate based upon what's doing best in each individual sector. All right, these were the stocks on Friday's close. Uh, you know what? Let me take out the notebook. The notebook's not even out yet. That this will help you prepare and get into rotating. Stocks acting well. By the way, more macro things than uh, basic stock movers. You had stocks like FedEx, long-term chart, which did report earnings. Is that more of a sign of a turnaround? Was it short covering? Is it out of the water yet? Who knows? FedEx, keep an eye on the transport. MU also bucking the trend. Bucking the trend means all the other stocks were positive. If you looked at the screen before, we'll get back to it. But Micron had earnings finishing near the low. Lennar, Homey, did the same thing. FedEx, the same chart as FedEx. Both had bad macro stocks, by the way, had earnings finishing on the high. With inside days, we'll see where they go from here. Very important where they go. Nike, you know what? These all look the same off the bottom. Planeteer, you know what? I'm not going to lie. Planeteer has almost become the barometer for the market, one of the barometers. The usual barometers in normal market conditions, if you will, usually is how Apple, JP Morgan are doing. Apple and JP Morgan, to me, if you said I couldn't watch an indice or the spies or the IWM of the futures and just gauge market conditions on a handful of stocks, it would be probably Apple, it would be JP Morgan, it'll probably be Walmart, and we'll continue on that. Okay, other ones. Uber acting well. Well, these are all stocks acting well. If you were to, cover over the proverbial spy chart and put it over Uber, you'd see that Uber's outperforming, acting very well. GameStop has earnings this week. That had a good close, from what I understand. Everybody was talking at that. Target, I mentioned on Power Hour. Now, once again, uh, reverberating back to these charts like FedEx, a a Nike, a Lennar. Let's see how Target did the same thing. Now, I don't know if Target is a turnaround story, retailing, you know how it is. I'm trying to go upon price action, but there could be some mean reversion here. Friday, the mega cap stocks were good, but the market had a nice rally. To digress, Target. Let's see. That was a capitulatory low volume. See that volume? Back to back huge volume. Now, once again, it was skewed because Friday was that triple witching, Target being a major component. Back to back volume days, both finishing at the highs. Now, Dollar Tree, same church, different pew as earnings later in the week. I took a position. Maybe it goes. I've done worse. You know what I mean? There are better trades like that, but I'm looking at those type of stocks. Uber, pure trade. What else is acting well? Stocks that are taking calls still. You know what's acting well? Morgan Stanley. This IPO market's starting to hit up. They're starting to have some chatter in Morgan to come to these banks. AMD bottomed out of nowhere, taking some volume. Maybe pulling a little bit of cup and handle flag off right here. Keep an eye. I'm not saying it goes, but there's a channel here. Keep an eye on it. This can go up $5 as the market goes down. This is why trading is good right now. Stocks that appear that are taking calls. Note them down. Long-term calls. What are they? KVUE. Been a lot of it. FCX has been taking calls still working correctly. What else? Lewis, do you remember what's taking calls? You're there. Com, not a barn burner, taking calls. It's got it in it. CommScope Holdings, go to the weekly. Not saying it's something you tell your parents or your grandparents to put in the portfolio. It's taking calls. It could do it. It has it in it. Once again, this is one of these stocks that could be up 3 to 5% one day as the market's getting hurt. If it does get hurt. Listen, I'm going to post all levels, SPX levels, SPI levels. Later, I'm still doing some of my homework. I have a call in a little bit that I go over with my peers. This is part of my process too. Change your daily screener setup, your daily range of stocks to trade is amazing. Well, my screeners, first of all, I do my homework, as we all do, and you do too. Second of all, here's the universe. And once you get to the universe of stocks that are moving, like we all know KC has been moving. The Chinese stock, you know that stock, Lewis. This looks the opposite of the other one. These stocks might be bottoming a little bit of firm. SoFi. Out of nowhere, these bottom. Baba, let Baba still pull back. Let this thing come down to 120. Fine. General Motors is starting to look a little better. Do you see this? This has a good news with this chart, 3 layers above with volume, above all the moving averages. This is a catalyst away from being up $3 to $4 or being down the other way and just negating this whole base. It's that, especially a tariff type of stock. It's that edgy. That's why it hasn't popped yet. This should have already went up based upon the chart and volume. Stock should already be 52. Stock taking a huge amount of calls, no matter what the hell is going on, has been for some time. NEXT, next decade. It is what it is. Write it down, get the demo. If you're not in it, I'm in it because I like what it looks at. It's showing great relative strength. If you were to put this chart and impose it over the SPY or QQQ, the thing would look like silver. So why not buy next? Calls too. Look at these. Now these are starting. Now I got it okay. I'm going to show you now that I'm going over these charts again, is everything kind of settled down after that witch? This is the first time I looked at the charts on the weekend. Chevron. Look at this. Look, you know what it does? Looks similar to General Motors. And you know what? An auto stock shouldn't look the same as an oil stock. There's Chevron, there's GM, there's Chevron, there's Exxon. Now they're actually going together. The Devon Energy, I'm in it. This is the daily on Devon. Look at the daily, the weekly on Devon. It's got calls now too. I'm not saying it's going to go through here. I like it. These are a couple of ideas. LUV, doing the complete opposite. LUV was getting destroyed as every other airline. Hold on, watch this. UAL. UAL, let's say what, in the beginning of January 25, was at the high. And in the beginning of 25, LUV was at the low. This LUV is doing the opposite. A lot of stocks are doing the opposite. Bisler's starting to take calls off the bottom. I don't know. They're wrong, they're going to get wiped out. But if they're right, you can build on something and let it go. And the good thing is they're nibbling at Fizzler, which is a best of breed. Now we're going to see if it starts working. And then something like a Fizzler. Then if they start getting sexy, like in a CSIQ or JAX or an SEDG or the other solar stocks that are in my group here, EMPH, then that's not really the opportunity to buy more EMP, to take a position in the ancillary ones. It's probably an indication that they're buying the dogs that they keep adding to the best of breed Fizzler. That's what it would tell me. Hasn't happened yet. It's my job to tell you. Stock number. This is the stock. ADMA. Like I said, when somebody asks me what stock they like, from my chiropractor to my mom to the guy that I play a force move golf, I say buy yourself some ADMA. That's all. May not work, my opinion. Thank you, Lewis, for tuning in. I'm gonna leave it there. You know what? Because I'm gonna see where the futures are opening. I want to see, like I do every day. It doesn't matter the weekend. Uh-oh. The futures. Futures are opening up. So this is where the futures are opening up. Futures open up 6 o'clock Eastern. Right now it's a little bit past it, 6:09. Let me go to my basic Twitter feed. Futures opening up. I got some of my people quoting on the market. Follow who I follow. Yeah, there's the plan. I only follow 50 people or something. Click it. There's the calendar. There's me, team, tweeting. Appreciate that. Thursday singles. We'll report all these, by the way, these levels on the futures. It's part of my plan. All right, I'll leave it there. All right, so as I sign off Sunday night, going to be posting the rest of the evening, anything that's relevant. What we do at TradeGateHub is sentiment, option flow, trend is your friend, volume, and movement, range. You know, if it's not moving, we're not interested. You know what I mean? We're here not to always be right. Our job is to take money out of the market, whether even if it's luck, which is a big part of trading. And a big part of the luck is the fact that TradeGate Hub is free and that I'm able to articulate it, that hopefully make a difference to everybody across the board. I'll sign off for now. Sunday evening, be aware of the rest of the post. Thank you for Tradeview Markets for sponsoring again. The team behind me working hard on a Sunday evening throughout the weekend. Cheers. Thanks again, Mike V.